Hello, this is just a quick sort of first impression video of the Thrustmaster T818 wheel. This is mainly for people who are wanting to just play rally games, mainly really play Richard Burns Rally. This is the game that I play most to see whenever it's worth upgrading from a bell-fed wheel. The wheel I was using originally was the Thrustmaster TSXW, which, to be fair, is a fantastic wheel. I was using that for about 3 years, I'd say, maybe even a bit longer, maybe like four years. And it was a great wheel. That's probably why it took me so long to actually upgrade, because it was pretty much serviceable. It was doing a job anyway. So to come from that wheel to a direct drive, I don't think this step is quite as noticeable as it would be if you were coming from a Logitech G29, for instance. That wheel's probably one of the best wheels that you can get belt fed. There might be some equivalent Fanatec wheels. I've not used any Fanatec stuff, so I can't say for sure. But everyone who's owned that wheel that I know thinks it's a great wheel. A lot of the reviewers say it's a brilliant wheel. So yeah, coming from that is not quite as big of a step, but it is still noticeable. With this T818, you definitely notice more inaccuracies with the surface. So you'll notice more bumps. You'll notice what stages are smoother, what stages have got more bumps in. There's a lot more. You do notice a lot more. So it can be quite off-putting at times, because there's certain stages that might be bumpier than what you realise, and when you start to feel the bumps, the car might be a little bit more unstable and you kind of back off a little bit. Just with the belt fed, if that feedback isn't coming through, you might not realise as much and go flat out. But then there's been times and there's been stages where I've sort of, with the old wheel, might have hit a bump and gone off stage and not be able to catch it, because it sort of hasn't come through. But with this wheel now, I can feel the bumps more, so I know they're coming, and I can sort of back off or do what I need to do to sort of correct it. And if it does go into like a bit of a slide, it's easier to catch with this wheel because you feel it quicker. You feel the weight of the car more as well. So yeah, the other thing is flex. That's the first. I've got flex actually in this little base of the wheel. I have to tighten these down all the time. I've not noticed any issue with the flex at all. That's pretty much the first time I've tried to feel it. So if you can feel it if you start doing that, but I've not noticed. But one thing I will say is, if you get this, when you're putting this quick release on, it's quite tight to get on all the way. So I've noticed there was a gap there. So it sort of goes tight and you think you've tightened it all the way, but there's actually still quite a bit of a gap. So you need to make sure you tighten this as tight as you possibly can get it, so it goes flush with the base. And I think that's probably why I haven't had no cracks or creaking or anything like that. The wheel itself has been pretty much flawless. Yeah, it's been great. I have not noticed anything. I've just done Sim Rally Masters. Anyone who knows that rally on Rally Sim fans will know that it's a long rally, and the second leg was, I think, 20 odd stages. Done it no problem, absolutely no heat at all from the base, no problems with it overheating. It was, performed brilliant all the way through, no lack of power or nothing. So performance on like long rallies and throughout the day has been spot on. The base itself, I had no problems with performance, no noise. I've noticed people have got like the creaks and that. Like I say, I don't know whenever that's because they haven't got the quick release tightened, or it's a problem with the base itself. I have seen people where this shaft looks like it hasn't been bolted on for them, and you can actually like pull the whole lot out. I've seen a couple of people with that problem, but they've sent it away to Thrustmaster, and Thrustmaster have replaced the wheel if that's an issue. I think with a lot of these things, if you buy them when they first come out, you tend to hit all the original snags and problems, and then the longer the wheel's out, those little issues get ironed out. So hopefully this is like a base that's later on in the production phase, and these little things have already been fixed with this, but only time will tell with that. Is it worth going to a direct drive for rally games? Bit of a tough question. I'd say yeah, but it's probably not as noticeable as it is if you were playing like circuit racing games all the time. The thing with direct drive and the circuit racing games, you can feel like every little bump, and you can feel all the curves and stuff, and you've got that extra strength when you're sort of circuit racing. With rallying, you spend a lot of time, the wheel itself usually is lighter because you're dealing with sort of cars with power steering, and you're a lot more sort of round on the wheel and spinning it round, and it's not quite the same as when you're sort of locked in on a circuit game and you're only a little bit of movement and you're feeling all those little tiny bumps and vibrations to try and shave those seconds off. Rallying's a lot more sort of reactive, so you're reacting more to sort of the surfaces and that. So it still is worth upgrading, I'd say, but it's not quite as imperative as with the circuit racing game. If you've got like if you've got a Thrustmaster TSXW, you're probably fine with that, to be honest, because it is such a good wheel. If you've got like a Logitech G29, maybe you are going to be missing out, and the switch to direct drive might be a much bigger step, much more notable. I would probably I sort of need new pedals as well. I've got the TSPA Pros, whatever they're called, like the Thrustmaster pedals, and I've got a load cell mod on it, but really I want a decent set of pedals now. So there is a little part of me that thinks maybe I should have upgraded the pedals first, because the wheel I had was fine. But it's not a big deal because I will get new pedals at some point, hopefully not too long away. So that is pretty much it. I've not tried this with EA's WRC yet. I did put the game on for about a couple of minutes and it was stuttering. I just turned it off again. So if they patch the game where I'm not having issues and I can play it. It was actually when they patched it the first time, it ran okay, and then when they patched it the second time, it started stuttering again. And I'm not a big fan of that game anyway. It's more for me like a bit of a casual game. I did want to just do the career mode on it, but they've fucked all the AI times on the AI, so I couldn't even get much enjoyment out of that. So maybe if they stop the stutters completely and they fix the AI, then I'll go back and I'll try this wheel on EA WRC, and I can do like thoughts on that if anyone wants it. But that's pretty much it. So for me, I am satisfied. I'm happy I've got it. The jump maybe isn't quite as big as I thought it was going to be, but that's because the belt fed wheel I had was probably top end. I'd leave it to yourselves to decide whenever you want to upgrade or not. So thanks for watching, hope it helps, and see you again.